Namaskar. Welcome to this session with this main very important subject of journey into employment world. This lecture series about understanding planning, preparation and getting into job is designed for the undergraduate students and for class 10, 12 students as well from smaller cities, towns, so that they get a rough idea about employability skill in this discussion series. So as we begin this Kalpataru session on this platform under the Guru Shishya learning modules, we sincerely offer our prayer with deep respect and regard to our all parents, teachers, spiritual masters and Guru, and seek their blessing to take this initiative forward for the benefit of everyone. As you know that employment into a job is most important topic these days. So in last 3 sessions we have discussed on different points. First session we started from 5 core issues. Just to recap quickly of Indian labor market system, how skewed it is, how the supply demand things are being matched on both the side. Then we spoke about new kind of emerging jobs where one may not find exactly the same thing what you are studying, but there may be slight variation in the job with respect to what you have studied, the name of the subject, trade and all. So there may be need of doing some kind of additional courses, that also we mentioned. And then we mentioned that in which sectors the new kinds of job are emerging, likely to emerge in near future. Maybe it may be drone operations, maybe linked with the green energy, then optical fiber, and there are a number of new emerging domain on which the main government focus is right now on, with huge investment, new policies, and naturally they are likely to generate a job in those sectors. Then we also discussed that there is a major transition in the labor market type and pattern. In our time, it used to be 9 to 5 working in a particular employer. Now these things are changing. Now one may work at different timings, total flexibility in timings, and there may be number of jobs which you will be doing. Something from work from home, something with some other employer, then a different employer. So it's a very dynamic kind of situation now. Now it may be looking a slightly different, but maybe after a few years hence, this becomes a normal pattern of life, where one is engaged with multiple variety of jobs with multiple employers and at different timings, and able to maintain the livelihood. In the initial stages it may be there, then once they reach to senior stages things may be different. But this is what I am seeing, a very big change in the labor market. So in this kind of environment, now the youths of this period are getting into the employment. So we need to have a rough idea about this. In this session, we shall try to discuss about the employability skills which are being taught in different vocational schools and colleges, which is very important thing. How to improve the employability skill. Then different kind of soft skills. There are around 80 to 90 kind of soft skills, like problem solving skill or communication skill, time management skill, and there are a range of such skills. So these skills, we studied them or we read them in a theoretical version in respect different books and all. But now I shall try to narrate you how these skills are linked in an industry setup, how this a communication skill helps in an industry to deliver your job very nicely, perfectly. And then a general understanding about an industry. How do you understand? Suppose if you are applying for a job in a particular industry, then how do you approach that particular industry? I will tell you some of the points that we will discuss. And at the end of this program or this session, you will be in a better position to understand an industry. Maybe it's from manufacturing sector or engineering sector, maybe from service sector. And you will be in a better position to visualize your job role, your occupations in that particular sector. Then as you go further forward, you will have better confidence to operate in this kind of industry environment. Because yesterday also, in my previous session also, I have mentioned that thing, that skills required on the job kind of engagement. That gives you more understanding, better understanding, clear understanding. Unless the skill is experienced, seen on the ground, directly witnessed, without going through words and all, till that time it remains incomplete. Once you understand the skill directly on the ground, as you experience it, then you will understand that. And that gives an permanent impression in your mind and imagination, and you understand, okay, this is the way it happens and this is the way I should move. So, moving ahead further, now I will start from the main point that suppose if you are applying for a job in an industry, you are from maybe from a smaller towns, you did your 12th or vocational schools or UG undergraduates level, and you are trying to explore into some job. Then how do you proceed? That is the thing. Step by step, some approximation. First, you try to identify the sector in which you wanted to apply for job. It may be a retail sector, it may be telecom sector, it may be construction sector, it may be BPOs, then it can be telecommunication, it can be security, there can be a range of such sectors, industry sectors, which have been classified as per standard norms. In India also it is aligned as per the global norms. So this industry classification is very standard across the country, in different countries, and more or less they are at par with each other. So once you identify, okay, I will work in banking sector or retail sector or manufacturing sector, then the next comes that which organization, company you can apply. You will have a range of organizations, companies. Then you need to see at what level you are applying for those posts. It may be at entry level. So at entry level, once you are applying, then you must see at which level you are applying. Then you try to see the post on which you are applying. What is the job profile of that? What is the job description of that? What exactly you have to do? That you have to see. Many people, they just go by the name of the post and then they apply without understanding, okay, this is the kind of job I have to do. This is a plus, minus, this is my qualification. Qualification gives you general matching. But once you see that this is a job description for which you are applying, then you are in a better position to understand, okay, I can do this task like this. And once you have seen this thing, then you have to get an idea that, okay, if I join into this level, then how my career will flow, how I will go to the next level, then next level, like that. Some idea in your mind. That gives you an imagination, okay, this is the way I will be promoted, this is the way I will go up in the ladder. Some idea about that. Then last time, as I mentioned to you, the location, in which location it will be there. Suppose if you are applying for a job at Mumbai or at big places or small places, then you need to know where exactly you have to go. You have to, whether you are positioned in the main office or you are positioned in the production center or you are positioned in some other center of the same organization. Sometimes we say, okay, I am going in some firm name, but you don't know exactly which place you are going to work. So that understanding about the place exactly you need to know with, okay, I will be in this particular place, I will be working, and this particular type of unit of that organization I will be working. You may be in different value chain of the organization. You may be in the production center, you may be in the maintenance, you may be in the repair center, you may be in the sales, you may be in the front office, you may be in the account division, you may be in the HR division. So there are number of functions in an organization. So roughly you should know where, in which verticals I will be working. So that gives you an idea, okay, I will be like this, it will be. So what I am saying, a general understanding about the industry or the organization in which you are applying, you need to know about that. These days there is internet available, Google is there, so you can just search and find out about the organization as much as possible. And sometime you try to connect with the previous employees of those organizations, those who retired, those who are serving. So they give you more real feedbacks. Okay, this is good, this. It is not that they say, or you have to believe or not believe. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying trying to get the inputs from the different employees of the same organization. This gives you a general understanding. So with this, this much you need to do for each of the job wherever you are applying. You should not go just blankly, someone told you applied, and then once you join, after some time you run away from there, or you leave that, resign that. Somewhere bond will be there, so there will be problems. So you need to understand, at least for next 1 year, I'll be in this job, and to do this job, this is the things, and you can discuss with your seniors, with your parents, with your teachers, and then you can plan for that. If this background study, if you do, this is good. If you are not doing this, then there is always a risk of you may not liking that job at later stages, and you may feel like to quit that job and all and all. So now we shall try to understand the skills, employability skill required. So I'll just give you one example. Say you have been asked by your organization or the company having a role of, say, event management. Say I'm just taking an example. It organizes a cricket match in a stadium, and you are the person responsible to organize this particular match in that stadium. So when you suppose if you are doing this kind of job as a supervisor, as a manager, something like that. So then you need to understand that, okay, this is the job I have to do. What is the final outcome? Okay, I have to organize the event like this, and so date, so and so time, and this is the way. Then the next comes that who all are linked with this activity. If you imagine, typically there will be someone who is actually conducting the program on that day, sports. There will be lighting issues, there will be power issues, emergency backup supply, water supply system in that, security issues will be there. And if you see, there will be some 5, 6, 7 kind of activities will be going on. And as a manager, you need to aware, okay, these are the things, it may happen like this. You may also need to interact with state government authorities, with the local authorities for license, for permission, for fire protection. Why I'm just giving an example. So this much is the area, who all are the people who are responsible for this. So like this, you will get an idea. If I have to do some job like this, मुझे इतने सारे लोगों से मिलना पड़ता है. These many stakeholders will be there. These many type of peoples will be there from different places. And I may have to communicate with them. I may have to interact with them. I may have to give some reporting to them. So all this thing. So this entire thing, if you see, to do this job, you can create some kind of sets for this, doing this particular kind of job. You can say one knowledge component. Means you must be aware of the rule position of different stakeholders. What time it opens, closes, when it comes, what time electric supply comes, or all this kind of things. then you need to know, to do this job, what kind of skills are required. Then naturally you need to have comfortable level while interacting with different officials from different state governments or licensing authorities, fire brigade people, external people whom you will be interacting. Then there will be internal people whom you will be interacting. The internal people may be your own bosses, your own hierarchy upward and your hierarchy downward. So you will be communicating with them. External people, what I said, you fire and all, you will be water supply, electric supply, emergency supply and all. They are the external stakeholders. You will be interacting with them. So there will be some kind of skills are required to do that task. Here also some kind of internal stakeholders. So like this, you will get a general idea, okay, this is the way I will operate in this environment. And to do this thing, these are the skills which are required. Some approximation in your mind. So this is the way one need to prepare, one need to understand. And while doing a job in that stadium, what exactly I have to do? Whether I have to record something, whether I have to measure something, whether I have to communicate something to someone in your internal system and external system. In case if problem happens, then what I will do, whom I have to tell, those important things, that also you will maintain with you. So like this, if you divide the entire thing, it converts into small jobs and small knowledge sets and the performances. And knowledge, this job and this performance are linked with different type of skills, which we said employability skill. So I think with this example, some idea you got. Now I shall try to tell you about an industry. First we'll take an example of an manufacturing or an engineering industry, and then we'll speak about some retail sector. With that, jointly you will get an idea. So you have seen the stakeholder analysis while doing a job. Now suppose you are posted or you are positioned in an industry. It is producing some goods. Say using CNC machine, you are producing some products in that industry, in an industrial area. So there will be number of people who are engaged same way. There will be some people under you, there will be some people your boss, internal stakeholders. Then there will be similar way, there will be external stakeholders of that area. You have to just get an idea about all those things. And then you have to imagine and think, what are the different skills, soft skill or employability skill which are required to perform this task. So if you see them one by one, categorize and see them, then one category is the verbal communication. With whom you are going to do the verbal communication while performing that job in an industry setup. You may be speaking to different customers who are visiting to that place. You may be speaking or interacting with your superiors, with your colleagues. You may be having verbal communication with regulating and law authorities of that area. So these many kinds of verbal communication can happen in that setup. That proficiency you need to develop. How I should verbally communicate with them, how my communication can be very effective. But these are the people with whom I need to interact. So this much is important required. Second thing, there will be a set of written communications. Like anything, daily you are going to the office doing the job, and you have to daily make one report. Okay, today this thing has happened. These many items have been produced, this is the thing we have done, these many pieces, these places these items are stored, and this much is the inventory we have used, this much is the wastage materials which has come out. Okay, so it requires some kind of recording of the details while doing the job. So when you record all those things, that requires some kind of written communication. You may have to send some emails, you may have to write logbooks, you may have to record the details of the events if it has happened yesterday, tomorrow, what you expected to do. If you want to communicate something to your superior that this is the problem we have faced, we want to solve this problem for tomorrow, then you have to mail them, communicate them. So these are the writing communications skill is required in this way. Then there is another skill called reading skills. Now what all the things reading required here, reading skills? There may be some rules and procedure books of your company, HR policy, safety rules, fire rules. There will be so many book catalog, product catalogs. There will be so many things a company may be giving to you. So you must be in a position to read those instructions and understand them. It may be in English language, maybe in any other languages, but you need to understand them, Hindi language or anything. So reading skills is very much important. These are the things for which the reading skill is required. Then interpersonal skills. How do you maintain the personal relationship with other colleagues who are working in the same premises? There may be 10, 15 people who are working. How do you maintain a relationship with them? Suppose if you are the manager of that place, then how you are managing the relationship with each one of them? Are you able to build up a team feeling among all of you who are there? Because once you have maybe the production unit is working in a sequence, somebody is bringing the raw material, doing the preparation, recording details and giving to the production unit. Production is making the production process and giving the output. There will be repair and maintenance team. If there is any breakdown, they come and attend. So you need to see that unless all this team who are tasked with different set of responsibilities, unless they work together, the team thing will not come. And if the team spirit is lacking, then the production will come down. So you need to see that your team and leadership thing is maintained in the place where you are working. Then there will be situation of some problems. Daily some problems will come in an industry setup, some problems will come. Something breakdown happened. Then what you will do? Some machine failed. Then what you will do? You have to see whether the standby machine is there or not. If it fails, how much time will it take to repair that? Do you have contact number of the repair agencies? So like this, what is the specification of the machine which has failed? Technical specification, there will be catalog books on which you have to refer and see. Then there may be other agencies who do the repairing, so you have to interact with them. So problem solving requires a number of steps that you should need to do it. So to do the problem solving skill, you need to have these kind of informations with you and these kind of thought process in your mind. Okay, if some problem comes, then this is the way I will go and approach. Those who join the job initially, they most of the time they remain blank for first few months. They don't know if there's something happened, what has to be done. But why I'm saying all those things to you, so that you remain prepared in your mind. These are the skills required. These are the problems may happen. These are things can happen. Then what I should do, how I should do. If you're not aware, you can ask your superiors. But these are general things. Problem solving skill, conflict management is very important thing. Then there are some skills which we said self-management or self-management skills. In that, many things comes up, like your discipline, your honesty, integrity, your motivation to your own self and motivation to your subordinates and to your team. How you dress, how you behave yourself in the public with everyone, how much importance you give to self-esteem, aspirations, are you motivated, or how you give respect to everyone in that environment. So all this becomes a self-management skill. This is a very important skill. This is also part of the employability skill. So this also we need to understand, okay, if I have to work in an industry setup, and these are the skills which are required in those places, then to perform my job very perfectly, if I know all these skills, then I am in a better position to do the job. And if I am able to do that, then I can go up in the ladder very fast. So this is the very important thing you need to imagine. You need to understand, okay, these are the different skills which may be requiring at that time. And for that, you need to practice slowly, maybe say in first 2-3 months after joining a job. You may not be knowing, but once you know, okay, this is the way I have to work, then you start operating. But always remember, verbal, written, problem solving skill, team building, interpersonals, conflict management. Some conflict is there, then how you are going to resolve that within different sections, within different teams, within different individuals. Somebody will come and say, sir, he comes late or she comes late, she is having that problem, he is having that problem. Once these kinds of situation comes, then how do you resolve them? How do you rectify them? Considering the interest of the organization, not your personal interest, but which is good for the organization. In that setup, you will give those solutions, and that will help the organization to grow. Conflict management is very important. In case if suppose maintenance team is not working, then or the production team is not working efficiently, or the raw material supply you are not getting clearly on timely, then this is going to affect the entire production process of that industry unit. So you need to anticipate, okay, if this is the conflict is coming, this is the problems are happening, then this may affect the production badly. So I should take these steps like that. You need to understand. Some festival is coming, holidays are coming, everybody is wanted to go on leave. So you have to talk with them, tell them, convince them, okay, no, this is the way we will do it. This is the way we will do it. We will go and he will go. Next time you will go, this time I will be here, something like that. So you have to resolve that issues. What an organization try to see in normal conditions, people are having good skills. They can speak about their skill, they can give, they can mention theoretically about their skill. But when actually the problem happens, that time what they do, how they behave, that is the most important thing. And once you understand this is the way, then you can be an asset to that organization. Okay, problem happens, then I am the first who will take the shoulder, the responsibility, and I will try to do like this. If the management knows, okay, you are going to help them this way, then they will be happy, you will also be positioned favorably. So this kind of sense of ownership for an organization, ability to handle problems in an organization, they all become part of the employability skill. This we need to know very clearly. कैसे करके मैं इन सब काम को करूँगा, so that because of me the problems comes down, it should not increases for the organization. That is the whole crux of the learning of the employability skill. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind.